Hello. So I had a good rest, and now I'm going to, and thankfully, I get to sit down to do this because before I was pretty much standing. Um, and I'm using my Magello Mission Gold watercolors that I got in 2016. So there you go. And yeah, just sit down and have a nice, soothing, and quiet painting with an old lady. You know, it's funny, my 80-year-old mom keeps on saying, "You're not old, you're not old." And I literally had to tell her the other day, well, the reason you're saying that I'm not old. Oh no. Ooh, I'm getting the paint in the other wells. I'm gonna have to, I don't know how I can clean that up. Okay. So this, I decided the coat is darker. Thankfully I have a I have a reference photo for this. I do not have a reference photo for this. I don't know what happened to it. I can try to look it up. So the coat is very dark, so I'm gonna go in. Wow, that's a bit dark. I didn't expect it to be this well dissolved. I let the paint set for quite a while. So, well, this is a massive oopsie. I really wanted to do just layers of washes. I didn't expect to to do this at all. Oop, eh. Well, I already got a lot of correcting to do. So that's pretty clear. I wanted to bring the color more to this, not this. So I got more coat. There we go. I'll just pick up the paint from this hair area and carry it over to the other area. That works, thankfully. And yeah, I may be painting with a brush that's a bit too large at the moment, but I just want to, my goal at the moment is laying down color very, very quickly, as much as I can, and get as much area covered as I can possibly manage. I think I'm actually going to have to blot this. I mean, in the end, it was kind of going to look like this anyway. I mean, I still may blot it. I don't know. I really like the smooth. I'm shocked at how smooth this is. You know, maybe smoothness is determined by your brush. These are brand new brushes that I have not been able to use at all, really, because I've been too busy, and then I've been too sick along with being too busy. So mm. Mm. Do I want to pull out more color? I do, but I want to make it nice and smooth like it is, like it has been. This has been beautifully smooth. I don't know if I should be painting down into the name area here. The name area doesn't really matter because I'm going to end up covering it all up anyway, you know. I don't know. It does, watercolor does dry lighter. This is going to be a shadow up here. I'm going to take some off anyway. I'll take some off and then even it out. Try to make it more like the other side. Because I mentioned The Other Side, now I think of that David Gray song. I was listening to that the other day. Meet me on the other side. I can't sing. I would love to be able to sing, but I can't. Okay, so that reminds me of that joke, why did the chicken cross the road? Turns out that the punchline of that, why did the chicken cross the road? It was saying that the chicken wanted to die. And I'm like, what? And that was apparently the joke. And I'm like, what? I didn't know that that was the punchline to why did the chicken cross the road all these years? You know, I didn't know that the chicken wanting to get to the other side meant that the chicken was wanting to kick. Did you all hear that about the actual meaning? Because I never knew that the chicken wanting to get to the other side was like a euphemism. I don't know, you know, like another way to say that the chicken wanted to croak. And when I found that out, I was just like, what? You know, I could not believe it. Okay, so now this is supposed to be a hanky in his pocket. I'm glad I got the reference because I wouldn't have known that. But this is a hanky in his pocket. It's been so long since I did these drawings, and I don't know what happened to a bunch of my reference photos, unfortunately. So, and I will say that while I want to do at least the majority of this painting on film, on video here, I'm worried that I might not be able to. And if I'm not able to, I promise that on YouTube here, they have like, at the moment, they have like a, not a comment section, but it's a like a community section where you can, like, I posted some little pictures, some little images there. One of them was, it was another time where I was having a bad gut day. That's one of the problems. I have bad guts. So it's not just kidneys bugging me, it's guts too. And so if I, you know, I don't know, my guts just decide that they're not happy with something that I ate, you know, or maybe it's just a ghost wafting through the room, who knows what it is, you know, but they decide to throw a fit. And I was having a really bad, like, God. Now when I have a bad day, it lasts about 3 days, because what used to be only like a bad day, it'd take me out for a day, it ends up laying me up in bed for 3 days, and it should be minor, but it's not. So I was trapped in bed, and I ended up watching some Trippy Draws videos. And okay, now I probably shouldn't go into this because that'd be wet next to wet. Okay, so his shirt and his hanky have to be left the same color. And the tie is real shiny, so I need to go in with a pencil with that. But now if I can just get the tone, his skin, just how dark it is. I'm hoping I'm getting this right. I don't know. And then one of the other problems is that it'll look one way. Okay, so I need to combine those two. It'll look one way on camera here, you know, especially with the Samsung. I found out that the Samsung cameras are not good when it comes to capturing color. That's an interesting one. They're just not good. Moto G is far better when it comes to filming color, you know, and that's just what, I don't know if there's any add-ons or apps or anything. Oh man, and this yellow, some of the other yellow ended up dropping into it. Crap. I overfilled my paint wells. Sorry about my arm just in the way. Maybe even throwing off the, camera sensor. I don't mean to do that. I'm sorry. Oh, God. My yellows are getting dirtied. Really badly dirtied. I'm not happy about that. Oh. Maybe I better just stop. Okay, well now... And now I'm going to try to mix a color. You know what? I'm going to get this out of the way. You're probably not going to see it at all. Yeah, there's no way. Let me see if I can zoom in at all while I'm recording. Yes, I can. So this paint well ended up dropping a little bit of paint into this paint well. And now this paint well dropped a little bit of paint into there. And so the two colors are starting to mix. And I'm not happy about that because they really are two totally separate independent colors, And it's very upsetting. It's very upsetting. So anyway, I decided that this color needs to be mixed with that color. So that's what I'm creating a little well, if you will. It's a little puddle here of color to mix with. And I do want to water it down. So here I took out like an entire mixing palette to do the mixing, so I wouldn't have to do it right here. But I'm doing it here anyway. Oh well, whatever. Yeah, and now I can't like wipe my brush. You know what? Where is my... I need to be able to wipe my brush, and while I might regret this later on, I'm going to do it in this thing. This is a beautiful little porcelain flower palette that I managed to get my hands on while Biden was still in office, I think. In fact, maybe even at the beginning of Biden's presidency. So I was able to get it, not great cheap, but cheaper than it is now. There we go. See, I like washing my brush, and the fact that I need to water it down just helps. There we go. So now I'm going to take this paint and try to transfer it. Is that being caught on camera even? Yes, it is. Thank God. Okay. My timer is about to go off. So, I probably should just do this off camera, but I have to admit, for me, it is ASMR watching people play with color. I would much rather watch them play with color than even paint something. So, obviously, to each their own, But because I hardly ever get to play with my paints and my colors, to me, watching someone else play with paint and color is just, oh, the chef's kiss. Especially if it's like perfectly ordered, it's like in order, all of the colors, Oh, it feels so good. So, I think instead of cutting this video off, I'm going to let the timer go off and let the video go till the end. And then I'll do the rest of this, like, mixing off camera. So that way I can, continue on. I'm going to try to film as many videos here as I can. Like, as I said, when I am able to film, even if it is at the expense of my body, I try to film as much as I can, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to be healthy enough and to have enough free time. Because, I mean, it's literally, It's like having a kid. If you've ever had a kid, I had to take care of my niece for my sister for the first 12 years of my niece's life, and just changing out my water here. And, from infancy to at least 12. And then there was another year or two till she was like, man. After that, I was able to like babysit till she was 16. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that because I can't. That was a wild and not fun time. But it's like having a kid. And when a kid is brand new, you know, I mean, I didn't have the kid. I had nothing to do with this. And yet I lost brain cells and I started forgetting things. And guess why? It was because you stopped sleeping. You just stopped sleeping. And apparently, I mean, I was just waiting to be able to sleep again. And I finally got that rest after, I wasn't having to take care of her 24/7. But one of the things that you need to do when you have a kid is that when the kid is sleeping, doesn't matter how many dirty bottles you have, doesn't matter how much laundry you need to do, doesn't matter, that there's like a million, you haven't showered in 3 weeks. When that kid is sleeping, you need to sleep. And if you don't sleep, you end up regretting it. It is so bad, because I would go back and forth between doing massive loads of housework, and it doesn't help that we were 2, 3 families living in one tiny house, and I was the only one doing housework of any kind. I was the only one doing dishes. I was the only one. Ugh. Well, I think that's as clean as it's going to get. So, so the housework needed to be done, or else it was going to get dangerous for my niece. But, I regret not sleeping more, and I regret. So there's some word of advice for anyone that has new kids or that, is having to take care of kids. When the kid sleeps, you sleep. Doesn't matter how bad it is, how stinky you are, how filthy everything is. Just when the kid is asleep, you sleep, and there's just nothing you can do about that. So, and unfortunately, how does this tie into chronic illness? Well, I'm finding out it's very much the same. It's like, when you get healthy enough to actually get out of bed, my first thought, even though I want to sit down and do artwork, it's not to do artwork. It's to, finally take a shower, or, go do the mountainous load of dishes that need to be done, or, try to scrub that spill out of the carpet, and yeah, it takes all of my energy just to do like 5 loads of dishes, but for me it's everything in the world, taking the dishes and doing them. Darn it. The problem with this yellow color is that it's too creamy. I wonder how long I've filmed so far. 19 minutes. Okay. Well, I was thinking that I was getting over time here. Well, darn it with this yellow. First off, it's too creamy, this yellow. And sorry to suddenly transition into my artwork, but I don't think. Now here's the tricky part. Did I even get close? I think I did it good. I think I got close enough. I'm gonna leave it at that. I think that's good. So there we go. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with this. So now I'm just gonna take this and water it down. So hopefully it's not that dry in here. It is kind of humid, especially since I'm next to a window. Oh. Okay, so since my alarm is going off, that means it's the end of the video. And I'm not going to drag this boring pile of boringness out any longer. But I hope it's at least relaxing and helping you relax. And if any of you all are chronically ill or have chronically ill people in your life, you know, yeah, there's some info for you. You know, the second you're able to move, you know, you're either gonna like I'm doing today, you're gonna spend what little bit of mobility you have either doing artwork, which is rather frivolous, or taking a shower, or doing the dishes, or doing the laundry, you know. And so always what has come first for me is, you know, when you're in terrible gastric pain and suddenly it goes away long enough for you to move, you know, and you can actually get up out of bed without hurting your back. First thing is, you know, I'm not thinking about doing this, you know. But thankfully, I am a responsible person and I do feel a responsibility to you all. So I will continue to do this. And if nothing else, even if I can't show it, oh, that's pretty good. I even kind of like the line, even though this line is wrong. I like it. Okay. Yeah, because this is a really soft, there is no hard line in the picture. This is a really soft transition between his coat and his shirt in the picture. Anyway. So, oh, I went through all this. I'm also just finished the video with just putting a wash on all of his skin here. All up into his hair too. Just, now, the hard part is staying away from the eyeballs because this light yellow is going to be substituting the white in the photograph. So I can't go darker than this light yellow wash that I have all over him. For the lightest and the brightest parts of this. So, yeah, I'm just laying down a wash. Very obviously pale wash, and it's so pale that it is actually mingling with the yellow that is already there. My throat is so dried out now that I need to take a sip before I talk more. Yeah. I always push myself. I'm used to being dry by now, but when you get dizzy from it, is when it really sucks, and when it starts. Oh dear. Damn. Well, I dipped into the darker one. I'm gonna have to leave that. Oh, I sullied my brush. Try to. I hate how the. I hope I didn't get my head in the shot there. I hate how the paint pools in specific areas because the paper is buckled and wrinkled up. It's it waves up. I call it's becoming wavy. I don't call it it's becoming wavy, but at least in my mind, it's starting to become like a wave, like a wave on the ocean. It's acting more like the water, like a wave on the ocean, than the paper, the static paper that it is. Paper is not wanting to be static no more. So anyway, oh, I forgot I had zoomed in. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh man. Well, There we go. Zoomed out. This looks awful because I'm covering his... Sorry. So, anyway, I'm going to let myself rest now. So, thank you for coming along. Thank you for hanging out with me. And this was really enjoyable. And I can't wait to... I'm going to see if I can look up this image. See if I can find something even similar. So, I am definitely going to move forward with this. I actually relaxed and it helped me. And I hope to do more. So, there we go. If nothing else, this channel should be relaxing, you know? There's like this lawn mowing channel, and he calls his channel the boring channel, and I would consider this channel the boring channel because it's just art, you know? I mean, who would watch lawn mowing? I don't know, but I oddly was, so. And who would watch a boring art channel? Well, I would. I've watched lots of them, so anyway, there you go. Thanks for watching. Bye.